Russian man like inside the dark, call me Bill Snatcher. Just the brother for the rapture. I hang live, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifesting. The God's work like appliances, dealing in my sleep like a lot.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about Sasuke Uchiha and about the crossroads that this character is at and why the refined power or a flat-out power-up is needed for the character so he can continue serving as a bridge for Boruto to ultimately walk across and become the next Shadow Hokage. In universe, it hadn't been too much time that has passed since Momoshiki scored that flawless victory on Sasuke's rinnegan, outright destroying it with a kunai, and since then, every worst possible scenario that Sasuke could have ever dreamed of has outright occurred. Momoshiki took over Boruto's body, Kawaki regained the karma, Kawaki awakened a dojutsu, Kawaki killed Boruto, Momoshiki revived Boruto and effectively turned him into a 100% Otsutsuki on genetic level, and now Code has appeared inside of Konoha and is about to force Amato to remove his limiters. At that point, Code's gonna become stronger than Jigen. Once this occurs, that beatdown that Naruto and Sasuke suffered at the hands of Jigen in episode 204, and Ishiki making Sasuke a human surfboard in, I believe, episode 216 or 217, that's gonna pale in comparison to what Code potentially has up his sleeves of what he's gonna do to Sasuke. The man who vowed to be the Shadow Hokage who protected the village from the shadows is looking less like that final boss that people hate to go up against and more so like his brother Itachi, somebody who, while he is strong, he's going to die in service of his village. However, if we ourselves know that this looks like it's something that Sasuke's facing, then Sasuke would also know this as well, and he said as much when Sakura told him in the anime that he's lost all traces of his rinnegan chakra, and he simply replied that a shinobi must learn to deal with the hand that he or she is dealt with. Right now, Sasuke knows that he doesn't have the power to protect his student, let alone protect the village, which means that the man who spent 16 years honing his skills and pushing his limits of his rinnegan is going to have to refine his own combat skills and his tools as he trains Boruto up to be his successor as Shadow Hokage. However, right now, Boruto isn't ready for that mantle. Sure, Boruto's strong, but there's other things that Boruto's going to need before he steps into this role. Now, what options are there for Sasuke? Well, there are a few, but the first two options, I don't believe Sasuke's going to take them, but they are options that are extremely popular, so I have to go over them. First, we have the famed Hashirama arm that Sasuke refused to take in Naruto Chapter 699 when he was told that Tsunade was almost finished making his Hashirama arm. Instead of waiting, Sasuke chose to leave the village, and we found out in the Sasuke Book of Sunrise novel that part of the reason why he refuses to take another arm is that Sasuke wants a physical reminder of what he used to be as a shinobi and what happens when he allows himself to be swallowed up by that darkness. Though we as fans love Sasuke, we think that he's earned his redemption, it isn't as cut and dry in universe. The Sasuke the Teacher Star Pupil novel reveals that there are still people from the older generation who view Sasuke as being undeserving of the pardon that Naruto got for him, that a former rogue ninja deserves to be in jail or in the ground because somebody canceled Christmas on him. The Boruto manga builds on this briefly when one of the older Jonin, keeping watch with Sasuke, flat out pulls rank on Sasuke and begins talking crazy to him, to the point where Sasuke has to acknowledge, I don't have any rank. I can't give you any orders. This is just my own conjecture. While the younger ninja is in awe of Sasuke and thinking to himself he looks so cool, which is consistent with the portrayal of Sasuke in that Sasuke the Teacher Star Pupil novel. Now, by extension, the same is true for why I don't think we're going to see Sasuke with a ninja tech arm like so many people want. While he has told Boruto that he himself has no problem embracing science and tools that provide edges to ninja, even going so far as to use ninja tools to block the Byakugan's field of vision when he was buying time for Kawaki to escape from Ishiki. However, gaining another arm via science, unless it was an arm that he could detach from time to time, like the prototype arm that Katsuki made for Naruto that allows Naruto to absorb chakra attacks, evidenced by the Boruto sparring match that took place right after the Mujina Bandits arc in the manga. If it isn't something like that, something that is only temporary, I'm not sure Sasuke takes that arm. However, given this would be a tool and nothing that remains permanent, it's not crazy to think that Sasuke might swallow his pride and take a ninja tech arm if it means protecting Konoha from a threat like Code, Ada, Daemon, or even the new Ten Tails. However, what if this isn't the case? What if Sasuke still says, I don't want an extra arm? What other avenues are there for Sasuke to gain more power? Well, there's actually a few here, and we're going to look at some of the popular fan suggestions for it. Popular fan suggestion number 1 is that somebody like Katasuke or Amato is able to pull the fragments from his rinnegan out of his eye socket and potentially recreate some of that chakra via the ninja tech version of a rinnegan. In series, we've seen cloning take place. Cloning to the point where the Shin Uchiha clones have 9 million different Mangekyo Sharingan. It's not the craziest theory out there, and it's actually in line with stuff that Kishimoto's done in the past. It makes more sense than he can just go get this magical Hashirama Cell arm and awaken a new rinnegan, which I've already discussed in my video on why a Hashirama Cell arm won't make that big of a deal, which, spoiler alert, Kabuto pumped Sasuke full of enhanced Hashirama cells while performing medical ninjutsu on him after Madara almost killed Sasuke. He's already got Hashirama cells inside of his body. Getting a new arm is just going to make those lonely nights where he's out on missions thinking about Sakura a little bit easier because he's got another arm to use. However, ninja tech eyes, now that's something right there made from those rinnegan cells or the cells of what's left from his rinnegan as a foundation for that new eye. That's not too crazy, and it fits into the Boruto theme of this new generation ninja, learning to blend ninjutsu and science as being things that enhance one another, with the ideal shinobi not leaning too heavily on one or the other, but instead it being a perfect unison. Science should enhance ninjutsu and vice versa. It's certainly possible, and we've seen what Amato's nanotech is able to do for the car members. Every single one of them, from Jigen all the way down to Victor, had their bodies modified by ninja tech, and Amato made them into pretty powerful beings. So imagine what his technology could do to someone as strong as Sasuke. He made Kawaki a brand new arm just from Kawaki's own cells. The idea of making a replacement eye for Sasuke using the fragments of his rinnegan in his eye socket, it's not too crazy. It's not like we haven't seen crazier stuff happen before. In fact, it's not the craziest thing in the world when we look at Sasuke as a character. It's actually in character for Sasuke. This wouldn't be the first time he chose to embrace science to gain power. Sakura in the Naruto manga directly stated, based off of Tsunade's conclusion, about the advancement of Sasuke's growth during the 2.5-year time skip where he trained under Orochimaru. It was stated by Sakura that Tsunade said that Sasuke's power should not have jumped up that fast, that quickly, with Orochimaru training him, without Orochimaru pumping Sasuke full of drugs to enhance his body, which isn't that crazy. Orochimaru basically made ninja tools that work in conjunction with the chakra of the sound ninja who participated in the tuning exams in part 1 of Naruto. He modified their bodies using his research and tools, making them even stronger in the process. If Sasuke was willing to play hide the snake with Orochimaru after taking some sleepy pills from him, all in the name of seeking out power to destroy Itachi, is it really that crazy to think that he wouldn't allow himself to be subjected to science once again to fix his eye? But in this case, it wouldn't be for revenge, but instead it'd be to protect his wife, his daughter, and his village. Can Sasuke truly say that a ninja works with the cards that he's been dealt if he hasn't at least explored this option? Assuming Code does get his limiters taken off in the next chapter, which seems very likely, we're going to likely see Amato get killed right after that, but that doesn't close the door on this. Amato's data was handed over to Konoha. Sumare's been working closely under Amato. Katasuke's been poring over all of Amato's research. On top of that, you have everyone's favorite resident mad scientist, Orochimaru, who would also be there to help if need be. That being said, nobody's expecting Sasuke to be this alpha Chad that comes in like Roman Reigns and destroys everybody in his path. The best you can hope for with any of this is that if you take Kishimoto's statement from Naruto Databook 3, where Kishimoto once said that when you have something that's been a part of you, if it's chakra, it never fully goes away, then you actually have hope here, because we've seen this in the past. Itachi whipped out the Susanoo despite having lost the light of his Sharingan before he died. Madara, with no eyes, whipped out a Susanoo when he was blind. Shisui whipped out a Susanoo despite only having one eye and already being given lethal poison, as shown in the Naruto Ninja Escapades OVA that Masashi Kishimoto provided the story for, and the poison was confirmed to have taken place in the Itachi Book of Midnight novel. Sasuke should have access to a watered down version of his other powers, which means using science to stabilize that chakra opens up the door for Sasuke to refine that power that he already possesses, which allows him to grow strong enough to protect Boruto until Boruto's trained up enough that he both truly understands the darkness that comes with being the Shadow Hokage and having mastery over that Otsutsuki power that he's been cursed with. But you also have the situation where Sasuke might view Boruto as being the only option they have to fight back. That could be the only card Sasuke views as being the card that needs to be played, similar to how Naruto is betting on this new generation to get stronger. That could be it. And if that ends up being the case, since Sasuke can go pull a Jiraiya and go scuba diving the next time he feels that urge, and he can have chakra rods in his back, but hopefully like Jiraiya, before Sasuke gets sent out to his misery, I hope we see something like a Susanoo armor or something super cool. Sasuke needs some extra drip. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, main thing I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.